Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to use the float and clear property of CSS. So let's start. Float. Let's discuss about the float property first. Floating the element either left or right. By using this property, we can float the element left or right. So let's say, for example, if we have any image and if you use the float left property, then the content will align to the left of that image. Okay. So, and the image will left float. Similarly, if we use float right, then the image will float to right and the content will be on the left side of the image. When we are going to use the clear property, so this is used along with the float. Now if you let's say when we are applying a float left, so all the elements which come after it also will get automatically aligned to left of it. So to clear this property, so that the next element should not align with should not float along with the previous element, we use clear property. So in clear, either we can use it to clear it from the left side or clear it from the right side or from the both side. So here is an example. Let's say we have two div box, div1 and this blue border box. So if we use div to float left, then the div element will look like this. It will left its properties like required all widths, and it will occupy only the content width and the border around it. When we use the float property on the next div elements, this div element will float along with the div1 element. So if we use the float left and if we use the, let's say, clear left property on this div element, so this div with clear left will display as usual. Okay, so let's see this in example. So I'm running this and we have this. Let me create a style folder as usual, then style.css. Then let me have a index file, index.html. Yeah, here we'll write the HTML. We'll hide this. This is a float and clear CSS property. Okay, I'll use it same for the heading. So let me declare a heading here, h1 tag, and this is the heading. Okay, so let's start with now we have index.html file and we are going to open it. So let me add some style on this. Let me have a CSS property so that we can use it to display a border around this heading and align it to the center. Before that, I will link the CSS file link and it will be in the style folder with style.css file. Yeah. So let's start with the h1 element. So we can decorate the h1 heading element as it is. After that, we'll look after what is float and clear. So let me introduce some shadowing property for h1 element. So let me have this h1 element and we define a border color. So let me put a background for it. Background color, which is, let's say, red, and have some padding in it. Let's say 5px. Then text align to center. Yeah. After that, I will add another property which is, let's say, box shadow. So when we are using box shadow, it takes 5 parameter. So as you can see here, when we are using the first parameter will say the horizontal offset. So let's say Horizontally we have a 2px, then vertically also we have a 2px. Then how much blur do we want? So let's say it will be of 5px, and the distance of that uh, shadow, so let it be a 2px, so it will be expand up to 2px, or we can set it to 0. And here we'll set the color, so we can say the color will be blue. So as you can see, we have a blue shadow of that float property of this header property. Okay, so let's start with our CSS float and clear. Okay, so first we'll create one simple list item, or using this div tag. I will, sorry, not here, inside this index. Yeah, so we have a div tag, then we can have a CSS link, oh sorry, class, and then we'll provide it to name called links. Yeah, as we have done in previous. Then we have an anchor tag, and we'll give name link1, link2. Okay, so if we align it, as you can see here, I have added this, but it's not visible here. So there it is. Okay, we have changed something here, and do we have missed something else? Div, yeah. So we have div class link, then we have an anchor tag. Okay, so we have also written as somewhere else. Okay, so it will be a link 1 and link 2, so you can see it from here. Then let's start adding the property of links to anchor tag. So here, if I say the text font size will increase so that it will be visible easily. Yeah, then we'll remove the text decoration. That's it. Then none. Then I will set a border around these elements. So let's say border 1px, and it will be green color. So what we have written here, links, okay, and here we have links A. So what happened to this? Okay, color we have not written, and we have not set the style. So color, let's say red, green border, red color, and here the style type is solid. Add some padding inside it, 5px. So now I think the link is visible, better visible. Now if those links are aligned to left side, now I want that link should be aligned to the right side. So to align it on the right side, I'll use the float, and then I will use the right side. So as you can see, the link 1 will float to the right, and after that link 2 will be there. Then we need to add some margin because those are attached. There's because they are floating with them. So let's say right 5px. So you can see here from the right they have a margin of 5px. Okay, and then let's say next we have created another div tag. Okay, so here we have another div tag, and also I'm going to, let's say, give some class here and say container. Okay, then inside this container I'm again going to create some elements, and let's say In most of the links you have seen this UL element and ally element, so we can align those elements in that way. So for just demo purpose, uh, I will use just this container to demonstrate you how it will get float and it will get aligned. So let's say demo container. Okay, so here I will put a border. Let's come to here. We have given a name container and we'll put a border. So border 1 px type solid and let's say blue. Yeah, this is also okay, blue violet. Yeah, and we'll have some padding 5 px and font size 220 px. So you can see this container will overlap to this element because this container is aligned. It will get also float along with that element. That's why it's overlapping over those elements. So this container is also aligned with the right side. So if we want to clear it, either we can use clear both or we will use clear from the right side. So if we apply this property, you can see that the element come below its normal position. So let's add some margin from top and it will be of 5 px. So how it's look like, it's not shifted yet. 15, check it here. Yeah, so if we can add a margin here and from the bottom 5 px. Yeah. So as we have aligned this element, so from here it will be clear for you how we can use it to align this, how to use to clear the property, and to how to use the clear property to clear the effect of float right by using clear right. So in this way we can create a system. You can use the float and clear property with the float property. So let's take if you want to create let's say instead of a demo container, I'm going to create a vertical navigation. So I will use UI and then I will use list item, and inside that list item, let's say we have a home and duplicate, and we have a about, then we have contact, then we have next, let's say gallery. So these are the elements that I have aligned, and you can see it here inside this div box how it's get aligned. So let's modify this. So we have a container, and inside that container I have a UL list. So I will use the container, then UL. So first of all I will add a background to this UL. So background color, and that color will be the gray color. Yeah. Okay. Then I will style list. I will remove the list style type and set it to none, so it will remove the dots. Then I will use next property called padding. So padding will remove all the padding. Then by using margin, it will also remove all the margin. Okay. So as ally is a div block, as ally is a block element, and we want those elements should be float left side, so that uh, initially for the left side, so we'll first create a horizontal navigation bar, then we'll convert those horizontal navigation bar into a vertical navigation bar. So dot container, and here you have UL and we have ally. So inside that ally I will use float left property, so you can see all the elements get floated. Okay, so if we are floating those elements on the left side, those elements will look like it will look like this. So what we want that those elements that we have floated left, they should be aligned, and it should be get inside a specific container or the specific width. So to add those, let me add some padding. So it will be of 5 px. Yeah, that's it, but still we are not in the container. So to change that effect, we need to set the overflow property here. So what overflow does, it will automatically cover the flow of the content inside it. Now here you can see we have added it. Okay, so as the UI element also, or the li element also have effect, so we have added a padding over here. And for the UL property, we have added a margin of 0. Yeah, so container, and inside that container we have a padding 5. Okay, so let's remove this background also. Now we have this, and we have added a padding of 5, so we can increase it to 6. So you can see that we have a padding 6. And let's say we want to add a hover element on the container, on this li element, so we'll use this hover. Okay, then we are going to change the background color, and that background color will be the red color when we are moving a cursor on that element, so it will be of red color. And the color of text, we are going to change it to white. So as you can see, when we are moving an element, it will be get changed. Also we have, I want to display a cursor, so cursor property pointer, it will give us this hand option here. So this is, we have created, this is the layer, this is the container and navigation. We have created a horizontal navigation. Now let's remove this float left. Now after removing the float left, you can see that it's occupy the whole space, it's occupy the whole width. So let's again I'm going to put a border around this. Now instead of using this, if I change the width property, so to change the width, I will use width, and here we have a fit content. So if you use the fit content, you can see that the width is fit to it content, and this is the complete div container which is get fitted. So we'll remove this border now, and if we see now, this will be our vertical navigation bar. I hope you have understand how we can use the clear property, how we can use the float property. See you in the next video.